What's good, guys? It's Young Tracy here, and today I'm going to be talking about something that LeBron actually brought up after this game that you're watching. He was talking about how basically the Raptors are so underappreciated by the media, but the players know how good they are. The players give them the respect that they deserve. So I decided to take a look at that. I was just thinking to myself, are the Toronto Raptors, really worse than they are last year when they had Kawhi? And the answer to that is no. When I'm looking at these facts that I'm about to bring up, the Toronto Raptors are actually on the same pace as they are last year. Last year, the 2018-2019 season, the Toronto Raptors finished second in the Eastern Conference behind the Bucks. That is the same this year. So last year they finished with 58 wins and 24 losses. This year they have 47 wins and 18 losses. So they can potentially keep up that pace and pretty much balance out. I think they won't play a full 82-game season though. But they would probably get to that record if they did. And why are the Raptors good this year? Nick Nurse, one of the greatest coaches in the league, literally teaches such great defensive schemes and such good ball movement. But I feel like people are trying to ignore how good Kyle Lowry and Pascal Siakam really are. Pascal Siakam was an all-star starter, guys. He'll probably make an all-NBA team. He's a top 3 power forward in the league, easily. And Kyle Lowry just played great in the finals, so I don't understand why, when Kawhi left, the Raptors were swept off, and some thought they wouldn't even make the playoffs. Some thought they would go back to irrelevancy. When I look at the Raptors, I think they're the only ones that can beat the Milwaukee Bucks, the only ones that can stand up against them. They have size, and they have great aggressive defenders. OG Anunoby can play Giannis. Pascal Siakam can take Giannis. And they also have vets like Marc Gasol, Serge Ibaka, 2 great defensive centers that have won Defensive Player of the Years in the past and been on all defensive teams. Also, they have great perimeter defenders like Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry. The more you look at their roster, the more you realize how greatly built they are. I believe the general manager's name is Masai Ujiri, and he has put this team up perfectly, even with Kawhi leaving. They're the best defensive team in basketball, and they're the deepest team in basketball. Not to mention they have Norman Powell, and they found a bunch of great young rookies like Terrence Mann and guys like that who can come in and play significant minutes. And I believe that it wasn't that the Lakers played bad yesterday, actually. At the time I'm recording this, the Lakers and Raptors played each other in a scrimmage game. It wasn't that the Lakers played bad. It was that the Toronto Raptors completely outsmarted and out-physicaled the Lakers. They got in Anthony Davis's head, made it tough for him, and they made shots. They're a great three-point shooting team. That's what I really realized. And I'll admit, I wasn't giving the Toronto Raptors the respect that they deserved. I thought they could just beat the Bucks. I thought they would make it to Eastern Conference Finals. Now I'm thinking they can potentially make it to the finals. They took that extra step for me. They proved it this game. Not just because it was the Lakers, just because I'll admit I have not really watched a full Toronto Raptors game. That will definitely change now. But when I'm looking at these stats, when we're looking at this gameplay, I'm still kind of confused why the media isn't talking about them. I watched a couple of videos with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman, and they were talking about the biggest threat to the Bucks. I knew that the biggest threat to the Bucks was the Raptors. Even without watching the Raptors, you can just tell they're one of the greatest defensive teams in the league. I just feel like the Raptors aren't flashy, and I feel like that's what it comes down to in the media. They look at teams that are flashy, and they look at teams with storylines, when in reality, I feel like the Raptors are the biggest storyline this year. Them and the Thunder. 2 teams that lose stars, but manage to make it to the playoffs. 2 guys stepping up and leading their teams to wins. Chris Paul, Pascal Siakam. Underdog stories with rookies like Darius Bazley on the Thunder playing well, and Luguentz Dort. And for the Raptors, you got players like Terrence Mann and Chris Boucher. I mean, these are the storylines that we look for as NBA fans. These are the storylines that keep us intrigued in watching these games. And What I think would be so funny is if the Toronto Raptors actually end up making it back to the NBA Finals and end up repeating. I think that would be hilarious. That would kind of decrease the significance of Kawhi's ring. Not kind of, it would completely do it. Because at the end of the day, basketball is a team sport. As much as we try to make the NBA out to be a superstars league, how many stars you have leads to how many wins you have. That's sort of right, but it comes down to coaching, and I feel like the Raptors are coachable. Every single player on that team is coachable, willing to be coached, and a lot of them come from nothing. Fred VanVleet was undrafted. Terrence Mann was undrafted. Kyle Lowry bounced around the league. Pascal Siakam, nobody really gave him a shot, late first-round pick. And they got vets that just want to win. Baca, Marc Gasol. The culture there in Toronto has always been great too, and that's something that I kind of respect. All the players there really don't want to leave, exception is Kawhi Leonard, but it's cold up there. And that was a big reason why all the media analysts are like, oh, it's cold, Kawhi's going to leave, he wants the LA weather, he wants the spotlight. When in reality, he doesn't really talk, so I don't know why, but I mean, you can look at their players. Nobody really wants to leave the Raptors. Even if they didn't win the finals, they would all stay. DeMar DeRozan didn't want to leave. He just had to. Everyone there seems to like the culture. They seem to have a great bond with each other. They seem to be a really good team. And, that's what it's going to come down to. Long-lasting success builds franchises up and gets you free agents, like Kawhi to the Clippers. Clippers played well with nothing. So leave your opinion in the comment section below. I'm interested. I'll see you guys next time. And yeah, I'm out.